Guys, got a question from Jeffrey on Twitter, Hairston_Jeff on Twitter. He says, could you do a video teaching the north-south choke in the gi, maybe some setups and connections? Much appreciated. So Jeff, I will show you the setup that I like to do, gi or no gi. And again, the north-south choke I think primarily is going to be it's kind of like a guillotine choke. It works in the gi, but I think that more often you're going to see it being used in no gi just because of the ability to sort of slide into position. But I'll show you my favorite setup from it. So it's going to start off in a reverse case gatame position. And again, the reason I go to this position is because it has a lot of options that I like. So for me personally, I'm a Kimura person. So a lot of times when someone puts in a frame, this is what I'm looking for because they're doing what they're supposed to do, and so this is very, very common. And what I can do is I can switch off to this position here and I can scoop up the arm. Now what ends up happening a lot of times is people's heads seem to just pop up. I don't know why, but even like my last mixed martial arts fight, I actually finished the fight with this choke because I switched here, and again I was attacking the arm, again trying to work on this, and then a lot of times they don't really pay attention to the head. Now I'm gonna go through the choke and then I'll kind of break it down to you. So from here, I'm gonna slide my hand under, I'm gonna shift my body just a little bit, I'm gonna walk my body flat to the mat. And when I do this, I'll just stay down low, finish, and that's it. Now, let's break that down into bit by bit and talk about the important details. When I've got this Kimura, his head's up, I'm gonna start my palm up, and as I slide around, I'm gonna put my palm up. And I wanna get behind the neck. I'm not going super tight yet. From here, I'm gonna shift my weight just slightly away, and then I wanna push against him. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get his chin locked in place. This is very important. If he can turn and face me with his head, this is not gonna create the sort of pressure against the carotids that I need. So what I've gotta do is I've gotta lock his chin basically into my armpit, okay? So from here, I shift down a little bit and then I push against it. That's first. Okay, now from this point, I'm gonna get as low as possible here. And again, this can be the fight because the person might be fighting, but we wanna get as low as possible. I'm gonna put my head down. Now from here, my palm is up on my choking arm. This hand, my palm will be down. And I'm just gonna get as low as possible. I'm gonna place my toes on the mat and finish. When you're doing this move, especially when you're practicing it, the way that you can sort of tell if you're doing it correctly in the beginning, especially when you're trying to learn to get the right feel for the move, is do it slowly. And if you can finish with one arm, you're doing it well, okay? And so from here, we go down, under, and shift side to side, lock the chin in place, turn over, get those hips as low as possible. And now watch this. I'm gonna let this hand just sit over here. I'm gonna press my toes into the mat, keep my head down, and that's it. And I can finish. Now again, in a match, or a roll, he's going to fight that, so I'm gonna have to have that S grip there. And again, I'm going under here, S grip, and then letting everything sink in down towards the mat, okay? Now let me show you real quick the most common mistakes that I see with the sort of north-south choke. One is that people don't lock the chin in place, right? They immediately try to go down here, the person turns towards them, and they're able to get out of it. That's one, okay? So again, shifting side to side is very important. Now, the next thing I see is that if people are up too high up on the body, they're like up here, you want to be as low as possible because what I'm trying to do is put all of my weight down. Again, it's not a neck crank, it's more of a squeeze here, and I'm squeezing my bicep. I should be down here having direct pressure on the neck. So if I'm up really high, it's not gonna work. And the last thing is we have to clear this arm. Like sometimes people try to finish it like out here and stuff. We've got to get this arm cleared, and then we got to get down. And again, when we get down low, toes go active. And I'm basically transferring my weight, my pressure from my toes, moving all the way down right into the neck. Okay, so your whole body, and I say this to my students all the time, when you're doing a submission, in most cases, your whole body is engaged, right? It's not just me squeezing as hard as I can with my arms, right? My toes are engaged, my legs are driving in, and my core is tight, and my shoulders pinning down to the mat. If you feel like you're just squeezing with your arms, then you're not really getting the thing, so really getting the best pressure that you could. So really focus on pushing down those legs, and your whole body's staying tight and finishing that pressure against the neck. That's the most common setup that I like to use. Now, as far as connections and setups, in that position, you've got Kimuras, straight arm locks. You can switch off to arm bars. There's a ton of attacks from that position, but simply starting there will kind of get you going and give you something to work towards. But try that out. The next time you're rolling, switch to that reverse case position if you can get a chance to think about it. You know, maybe fiddle around with the arm, make them think about the arm, and then see if you can switch your arm around really quickly to get that choke. So, Jeff, thanks for the question, brother.